Hello everyone. This is my review of Darth Bane, Rule of Two. I really like this book. In fact, I finished it in less than a week. Yeah, I think it was less than a week I finished it because it was that good. I could not put it down. Um, some of the things that made the first book interesting, like the focus on Darth Bane, are a little bit lessened because the book focuses a little bit more on uh, Bane's apprentice, Darth Zana. I'll call her Zana, and Darovit to a lesser extent. Um, so yeah, the book is mostly about Bane training Zana and trying to avoid detection from the Jedi. And yeah, I really liked the dynamic between the two cousins, Zana and Darovit, who were first in the Jedi vs. Sith comic. And I really like how, Darovit wants her to turn away from the Sith, but, she's not going to. And there's one part where she's debating whether or not she should, betray her master. And, part of me wanted her to turn back to the light side. And, yeah, part of me wanted Darovit to redeem her. But, of course, we can't have that because then the Star Wars saga with the prequels and originals would have never happened. And, Darth Bane in this book, I still like him, even though, it doesn't focus on him as heavily as the first book did. He gets really cool armor. I won't for those of you who've read this book, you probably know what I'm talking about. One problem I do have with this book was, again, the few contradictions between this book and and Jedi vs. Sith, because during the scene where in the comic, I'm assuming you've read it, where Zana explodes Darovit's hand, shortly before Zana and Bane leave the cave, Githany comes and she's like this shriveled corpse. Ugh, I never want to see that image again. And she begs Bane that, I'll be your apprentice and we'll rule the galaxy. But then her body falls apart. I was really sad when they left that out of the book. And the main reason I wish they would have kept it in is I think it would have given Bane and Githany's relationship a closure. Like, it describes, like, from Darth Bane's perspective, what he's seeing and thinking when he sees Githany as, like, this shriveled skeleton. And, I could imagine, after she falls apart, like in the comic, he picks up her skull. Because in the comic, he said she never really understood the dark side. And, he's looking at the skull and thinking, I kind of wish she would have listened. I kind of wish I could have saved her. But again, she chose the path she did, and look, it got her killed. And then he crushes the skull and moves on. That would have been great closure. but they left that part out. The book also explains why Darovit survived the thought bomb, which I was always confused as to why. Um, Spoiler alert, it's because he is incredibly weak in the Force. He can hardly use the Force. Now, when I read the Jedi vs. Sith comic, I thought the reason why he survived the thought bomb was because, you know, he was incredibly powerful in the Force, or had an incredibly powerful potential. And that's why Bane and Zana survived, as well as Valentine Farfalla. I thought because in order to survive the thought bomb, you had to be, yeah, like I said, strong enough in the Force to survive it. And then I also thought the thought bomb, the thought bomb. I made a terrible joke. I believe the thought bomb affected like the entire planet, and the only survivors, like I said, were the strongest ones. But again, that's when I was a kid reading that comic. The truth is, Darovit was not powerful, and Bane and Zana were far away from the explosion. So I'm still debating whether or not I like this more than Path of Destruction, because I read this book a lot faster, but I'm not sure. It's still so far the Darth Bane Trilogy, in my opinion, is the best thing to ever come out of the expanded universe. And you need to read this book. It's fantastic, the characters are great, the story's great, it's just interesting. It was a page turner, I couldn't put it down. So, what do you think of Darth Bane Rule of Two? Do you like it? Do you hate it? Let me know in the comments. May the Force be with you, people, and have a good day.